Hello everyone, JR10. A couple of days ago I put out a video about alternatives to spending a lot of money on retail currently available power banks. I came about this because the one that I have, the Jackery, is on its last legs. After about almost 3 years, it refuses to take a full charge. After being on a charger for about 2 days, it won't go above 52%. It indicates that there's definitely some dead cells in there. Jackery, like the other companies, basically uses 18650 lithium batteries and wires them together into battery packs that they use to power these banks. The only difference is that each company will decide what type of lithium battery they're going to use. In Jackery's case, they use the lithium manganese cobalt cell or cathode, and I'm assuming they chose that because of the high energy density that particular cathode produces. My outlook on it is a little bit different, though. There's more to consider when building or putting together a battery bank and the choice of battery that you're going to use. My favorite is the lithium iron phosphate battery. It doesn't quite have the energy density that the manganese cobalt one does, but it's very close, and it far exceeds the manganese cobalt in other important areas. This is a small version of the one I had in that other video. It came about because somebody mentioned or made a statement that they liked what I was doing, but they need a more portable battery pack, and it got me thinking about the one I briefly showed in the original video. This is a much smaller version of the one I featured in my video. It's built along the same processes that I did with the other. It's basically a scaled down version of it. Once again, I did choose lithium iron phosphate as my battery to use. The reason for that is several fold. One is, well, there's a few of them. You have depth of discharge, you have safety concerns, you have life cycles and recharge capabilities. The manganese cobalt cathode will have, or has a recharge cycle of about 2,500, whereas the lithium iron battery has over 5,000 charges. The lifespan of the manganese phosphate or manganese cobalt is about almost 3 years, maybe a little more, which this is dying at 3 years, so I'm figuring that's about accurate. The lithium iron phosphate battery, on the other hand, has a lifespan of almost 10 years. So in my opinion, if you're going to invest money on a battery, you don't want it you know, especially like this Jackery, it was $300 plus, and it has a 3-year lifespan. So your choice is spend another $300 for a 300-watt battery pack in 3 years, or figure out an answer to it. And this is my answer. If I'm going to invest some money, I'm going to put it into something that's going to have a longer lifespan, and that's a 10-year lifespan on this iron phosphate. Also, safety concerns. One of the negatives of the manganese cobalt cathode is that one of its byproducts is oxygen that gives off, and that creates a fire hazard, which these batteries are known for catching fire and even exploding. The iron phosphate does not give off oxygen, and in fact is quite temperature tolerant. I live in the Southwest, and it's currently, well, like today, it's about 116. And these iron phosphate batteries are quite capable of being up in temperatures up to 140 degrees with no negative impact. Depth of discharge. The depth of discharge on a lithium manganese battery is going to be about 80%, maybe 85 if you're lucky, which is, to say, a lot better than 50% you get out of a lead acid battery. But still, the iron phosphate battery has an amazing 100% discharge capability. So you could run this thing down to 0 and not damage the battery at all. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that there's a lot of things to consider, but in the end, for this environment, I can't see why anybody wouldn't want to use lithium iron phosphate batteries as far as their safety concern and durability, good power output. And like the other battery bank I showed on the video, I got all these parts from Amazon. The batteries are obviously smaller. They're 12.8 volt, 6 amp each, wired like I normally do in parallel, and then had the wires run from the battery into the solar charger, and then the solar charger inputs and outputs are sockets that I put into the case. This is a waterproof dry box from Plano. I like their boxes, and they're just reasonably priced, and they do what you need them to do. So while I've drilled through this, it's not classified waterproof anymore, but I can tell you it's definitely water resistant. And if I were really interested in making it waterproof again, you can get plug-in sockets that are waterproof, but I have no need for that, and this works fine. This is, like I said, a very portable power pack that would be very suitable for a grab-and-go rig that you want to take with you on a camping trip or something like that. This bank has got 150 watt capability at 6 amps. So, I'm sorry, it would be 12 amps. So yeah, It's 150 watts at 12 amps. And when you need to recharge during the day, you just plug in your solar panel right there. And at night, when you're ready to start shooting, you just plug that into your mount. You run a cable to your mount. Works. I've been using it now for several weeks and not a glitch. I think that given the specs on lithium ion batteries, with safety, depth of discharge, life cycles, and all the other things that you compare other lithium cathodes to, this one is, in my humble opinion, unbeatable. I mean, if you've got enough power coming out to service what you need to power, then all the other benefits are icing on the cake. So I'm willing to give up maybe 5% on energy density to gain all the other more important aspects of this iron phosphate battery. Anyway, I hope I didn't bore anybody. I just wanted to show that there is capabilities to customize anything that you can think of and put together something that'll serve your purpose.